All right, Dick Berggren is with Mike Skinner.
Mike, what happened?
I think it was my fault. I'm not real sure, but I haven't seen it yet. But Rusty jumped up on the outside of me, and we were both racing hard trying to get our lap back. And our car was really, really good right there. And I think I just got a little bit loose and hit Rusty. And I really apologize. Bad deal. I've been on the other side of that coin a bunch of times. I sure as heck don't like being the guy that causes it. But race long enough, this stuff's going to happen. I just hate it for our Kodak Racing Pontiac. We really, really struggled at the first part of the race, and we lost a lap. The guys never gave up. They just kept on working and working and working and got the car where it was a top 5 or top 10 car in speeds. And we felt like we could have got our lap back. We could have raced them. But I hate it. I hate it for all the other competitors that got tore up in it. I think I just made a mistake.
Takes a big man to admit a thing like that, Mike.
Yes, and the consequences, of course, took Kurt Busch and Jeff Gordon from this race.
And I can't applaud Mike enough for saying, hey, it's my fault. I mean, you know, guys make mistakes out there, and all you really want them to do is say, hey, I made a mistake, and I'm sorry. That's all you really want a guy. That's all a guy can do. You don't want a guy to say, I don't know what happened. Maybe he cut out in front of me.
And who else deserves an attaboy is Rusty. As Rusty Wallace said, I don't think he meant to do it.
Right.
You know, it was an accident. Instead of trying to place blame.
Tell you what, guy, I've been watching the 17 car the last 2 or 3 times through turn 1 and 2. Little bit of tire smoke. Looks like maybe off the right rear. I don't really see it that much in 3 and 4. It's 1 and 2. But remember, they just pitted for, well, they've been out there for quite a while, so you wouldn't think it would actually be low air pressure.
Yeah, I don't think so, but I do see that little trail of smoke.
See it, you really can see it down here in turn 1. There you see it right there. It looks like the right rear.
Yeah, it's hazing off that right side.
And I don't think it'll be a product of low air pressure. Boy, you want to talk about a guy that's on a march. We talked about it before we went to break, how well they probably got that front fender. Tony Stewart in the 20 car, he's up to 10th, just went by Johnny Benson in the 10 car. He has 4 fresh tires, he has a nice left front fender, and he is moving forward.
Car doesn't look too bad right now, especially when he has 4 tires and some of these other cats don't.
2 contenders, Jeff Burton and Joe Nemechek, who spent some time up sniffing close to the lead. Now they battle for 7th place.
And you know, we'll keep an eye on Matt Kenseth in the 17. Also, he's running right side exhaust pipes also. So, you know, when he backs off the throttle getting into turn 1, it could be smoke out those exhaust pipes. So we'll keep a watch on that as well.
Could very well be, but one thing I'm telling you, he's running the fastest lap times that I've seen in quite some time.
Well, just 8 laps ago, he ran the fastest lap that he's ran in this entire race here at lap 193. Lap 185 was his quickest lap.
And the other driver who's doing the same thing is Sterling Marlin. Just ran his fastest lap of the day. Of course, these speeds will pale next weekend when we get to Atlanta, the fastest track in NASCAR.
Hang on to your helmet, baby. Tighten up your Hans device, pull them belts tight. We're going to go racing, high speed racing next weekend.
No restrictor plates, no out of bounds.
Well over 200 mile an hour getting down in the corner at Atlanta.
See Bobby Labonte in the 18 car in 5th right now. He had the quickest speed that time at the line.
200 mile an hour at Daytona and Talladega, you don't even feel it. 200 mile an hour at Atlanta is like riding the Loch Ness Monster or the Aerosmith or something.
Let's watch our Fox tracks on Bobby Labonte, who's in 5th. Let's see the interval. This is to the interval. Our leader right now, he's losing a little bit of ground, not a lot. And I just look at his lap times right now. Last time by, he actually was just a tick quicker than Matt Kenseth, the leader.
Sterling Marlin almost scraped the wall. There he is as he came off turn 4, but he is coming. And Marlin is closing on the leaders.
Jimmy Johnson, he moved up off the bottom some. You can see him back there. He's trying the high line to see if there's anything there for him. Those first 4 cars are kind of stretching it out on everybody else.
Again, an update this year to our Fox ticker, as you'll see in the second line there. Updates throughout the race.
Courtesy of Jeff Hammond.
Jeff's the only one still has somebody in the running with Sterling Marlin.
Yeah, he took you and I out down here in one blow. If that thing was going to smoke, and where it's smoking, it could very well, Larry, be out those right side tailpipes. As you back off that engine, and all the pressure inside the engine, sometimes suck a little oil down in there, and when you get letting off of it, it'll burn in the pipes.
Second place race.
I'm telling you, I watched Jimmy. He moved up off the bottom. He started running the high line, and it's working for him.
Dick Bergeron is with Jeff Gordon.
Just came out of his haul. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. You know, it's just unfortunate we had that one little problem in the pits and put us back there, and we're playing catch up. Had a good race car, real good race car, and I think eventually we could have gotten up there and battled with him. We had to take a two-tire stop to get some track position. I think we're still going to end up pretty good. We fell back a little bit, but it looked like the 4 got loose, got into Rusty, and I tried to slow it down, and the more I tried to slow it down, the more I was right in the middle of it.
Would it make you smile if I told you that your teammate just passed Junior?
That's awesome. I'm up there pulling for him. He's got a great race car, and he's got a good shot at leading the points coming out of this thing.
Thanks, Jeff.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, we talked about guys on the march. We talked about Tony Stewart in the 20, Ryan Newman in the 12 car. He just went by Jimmy Spencer, and that's for 11th position. It wasn't but about 125 laps or so. He was 2 laps down, but they just continue to get that car better.
Got some good brakes. We know he's got a fast car.
Finished 4th here last year, so he knows his way around this racetrack. Remember, Jimmy Spencer in the 7, he was semi-involved in that wreck over there. They still have a good race car.
And here's Jeff Burton moving up on Michael Waltrip for 6th place. Battle for 11th on the left of your screen, and the race for 6th on the right.
Michael up at the high side, Jeff Burton right around the white line, right around the bottom.
Yeah, he's going to slide up in front of Michael, take the spot away.
Ryan Newman and Jimmy Spencer, they've been door handle to door handle side by side for about the last 3 laps.
Steve Park and Jeremy Mayfield.
Now, this got a little ugly there a while ago. Park's got a tire rub on the right front, and a little smoke flew off of it. I don't know if he got that from rubbing up against Jeremy or not, but they got awful close there a minute ago.
Now, that's not for position. Park's a lead lap car in 10th, and Mayfield is 1 lap down in 22nd.
And this is the best run we've seen out of Steve Park in quite some time. A car in the top 10 and still in touch with the leaders. Got a chance to move up some more.
And here comes Sterling. He's caught Dale Earnhardt Jr. This is for 3rd place. They're about 2.2 seconds behind the leader, Matt Kenseth.
Darrell, it's almost like Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Eury, that group. We heard a lot of people talk about this in the early part of the race. They didn't keep up with this racetrack. The car's going away. This racetrack is getting greasier and greasier, and they hadn't made enough adjustments or the right adjustments to keep up with it.
And that's the beauty part about having a really good, knowledgeable crew chief, good notes, good teammates, too, because a teammate can tell you something he did that helped his car and get your car good for the end of the day. That's what you're working toward all the time.
All right, Sterling goes by for 3rd. Matt, is there a problem with the 8?
Mike, back on lap 196, Junior reported into Tony Eury. Junior said, Junior, that set of tires is just way too tight. They said 10-4 because they were looking at possibly using the same pressures on this set for their final set. So they're talking about what adjustments to make for that final run.
And that's the thing, Matt, as we talked about a little while ago, they're probably only going to get one more chance to adjust on that race car.
Yeah, and you don't want to be falling back. You know, you don't want to be falling back right now. Now's the time when you want to be going forward. You get behind now, you ain't going to catch up, but you're not going to have time. Watch this one car when he goes off in the corner down here. He's kind of making me nervous. Got some right side smoke. I think that's off the right front. He made some contact, I think, with Jeremy Mayfield a little bit ago. And that's pretty serious tire smoke going off in the corner.
But I tell you, Darrell, we'll keep an eye on it. I think a lot like Matt Kenseth. He has right side exhaust pipes as well. And we're seeing that a lot out of these cars.
Man, just stay on that shot. Just look at that car, that white nose. That car came down in that corner. Ryan Newman did. It looked like the throttle stuck on. He closed on the Park so fast.
And that's for 10th place, Park and Newman. Here's Ward Burton battling Terry Labonte and Johnny Benson. Ward's son, Jeb, underwent some minor surgery, recovering at home. And the Burton brothers, Ward and Jeff, with a hello to Jeff.
But I'm going to tell you what, give a call to Ward Burton's crew, led by Frankie Stoddard in the 22 car. They're a lap down back in 25th, but they had a charging problem early in the race. They caught a caution, came to pit road, changed that battery, did not lose a lap. He's still out there a lap down.
Matt Kenseth, the only car on track that's as quick as Matt Kenseth this last lap is his Roush teammate Jeff Burton.
The race front fender's got a little rub on it that we had all weekend, Matt. You know that. if you need to complain that we're smoking a little bit, that's all it is. 10-4, we lost a little here in the last restart. Traveling a little farther than what we were earlier. 10-4, just keep doing what you're doing. I'll let you know where the lead's at.
It's traveling a little further on the right front because he's driving it a little bit harder than he was earlier. His lap times are quicker. He's driving in a corner harder. Tires rubbing on the fender.
Well, it's probably rubbing, actually, since it's traveling more, rubbing up at the top of the fender.
Top of the fender. That's why they're not worried about it. They're telling him that what the problem is. They must have had that problem earlier in the week. Boy, when you look back, this is out of the 48, Jimmy Johnson. He can't even see the leader up there. He's a 4-back.
Matt?
Well, Mike, Jimmy Johnson reporting into crew chief Chad Canassis as the car is just getting tighter and tighter. Chad replied, you should try backing off a little earlier, the old Kyle Petty trick, hopefully helping to get that car to turn. And Jimmy said, boss, I am trying everything. To Steve Burns.
Matt, Bobby Labonte riding in the 5th position, last pitted on lap 167. They made no adjustments to that car then, but they have been working on adjusting Bobby Labonte's confidence. We've heard about that today. Crew chief Michael Fatback McSwain telling him he's the man, you're doing a great job, and they're working on his confidence. Last year he finished 16th in points.
His car looks awfully good, and it's right around the white line there like you like it. He's back in the throttle, he's coming up off at 2. Looks like he's in pretty good shape to me right now.
Right now, lap time wise, Jimmy Johnson in 48, Sterling Marlin in the 40. I've been watching the last 2 or 3 laps. They almost run identical speeds, along with Dale Earnhardt Jr. back and forth. But this guy right here, Matt Kenseth in the 17, he's about a 1/10 of a second a lap quicker than 2nd through 4th.
One thing Jimmy Johnson did, he ran the high line quite a bit. I think he got up there and cooled his tires down a little bit because now he's back around the bottom. And the 99 and the 15 here are working on each other pretty hard, too. Michael running the high line and Burton down on the bottom. Whoa. I think he got up out of the groove a little bit there. Just threw a little dust up.
That's up there where that wreck was a while ago. They put a little bit of speedy dry down.
Michael just got past Jeff once again to retake 6th place.
And, man, I mean, when you're up that light-colored asphalt, that just means that no one else has been up there, and you're up there all by yourself.
You know, Darrell, we've been talking the whole race about cars that have been getting themselves better as they've been making adjustments. And a lot of cars were a lap down at one point, like Kevin Harvick in the 29. Now he survived not being in that big wreck over there. He's up to 14th position, and he has a pretty quick race car right now.
Battling Johnny Benson.
And, you know, you talked about Harvick, and I looked there on the monitor. Jerry Labonte's up there in 13th place. Pretty darn good day for him. And Jim Long, his crew chief, they're having a pretty nice run here.
Terry practiced well, Darrell. In one of the practice sessions, he was up in the top 10. A nice surprise.
And they brought a brand new race car here, untested. But Jim Long, you mentioned him, his crew chief, told me, said, Larry, we just keep getting better and better every time we put another one of these 2003 Chevrolet bodies on.
Yeah, a lot of the guys went to the wind tunnel after Rockingham because I'm telling you, they left Rockingham, they were worried. Most of the Chevrolet teams were. And they wanted to go to the wind tunnel and say, what have we done here? But they came back from the wind tunnel saying, you know, we got to go to Las Vegas because the information we're getting says we should be good.
Now Terry's closing in on Jimmy Spencer. Battle of Veterans, that'll be for 12th place between Spencer's Dodge and Labonte's Chevrolet.
And now is when you want your car to be its best. Right now you've been kind of tuning on her all day. Now show me what you got.
Labonte's caught Spencer for the moment. Can't make the pass. 2nd place is heated up. Sterling Marlin's caught Jimmy Johnson in a pack of cars and trying to come through for 2nd spot. Matt Kenseth is your leader. 3.5 seconds up on Jimmy Johnson, Sterling Marlin, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Bobby Labonte. This is NASCAR on Fox.